So, in the United States, we have this thing called the freedom of speech, and no matter how shitty someone's opinion might be, they're protected by that speech and expression by the First Amendment. And regardless of how heinous it may be or how hateful it may seem, that's still covered by freedom of speech. So, what we're about to see is a guy have a chimp out because someone has a Palestinian shawl with a flag on it. So here we go, and I'm gonna give my own 2 cents on this. Here we go.
Okay, Apple Store of Irvine, and you have a terrorist over here that's supporting fucking Palestine.
So just because someone has a flag that can sympathize with Palestinians doesn't really make them a terrorist. But you see, this side, the Israelis love to paint with a broad paintbrush anyone that's opposition to them, even in minute details. They'll call you an anti-Semite, or in this woman's case, a terrorist. Because it's just what they do. It's interesting to see Israel play both the conqueror and victim at the same time. You can't be both, in my opinion, and the same goes for the Palestinians too. But let's keep going.
Right here.
Okay, you enjoy?
Hi.
Yes, where is the manager, please?
I'm one of the managers.
Oh, so why she's wearing this flag?
It's her freedom of speech to fucking do so. And just because you're offended, regardless of how fucked up that region is and how Hamas did heinous shit, she's still covered by freedom of speech to wear that. Now, you as a customer can take your business somewhere else, cancel your order, that's fine. But the person filming this doesn't have the right to dictate what someone else can express through the First Amendment, regardless, again, of how shitty or opinionated it might be.
Why she's wearing this flag?
Yeah.
You know what is advising?
Yeah. So
It is inviting behaving babies.
we can
You know what they
ask
did?
you to-
You know what they did? These guys?
So we can go
Did
ahead
you
and ask you to go ahead and
Why?
call security.
Why?
We don't need you to go ahead and harass.
But
me.
why? I'm not harassing nobody.
Yeah.
Yeah, you are. You're having a chimp out in the middle of a fucking, what is it, Apple store?
Yeah. So we
No,
can
I'm
go
not.
ahead and ask
Why you say that? Why you say that?
So
Yes.
how can we help you outside of this? Yeah.
This is my ID.
Are you picking
Okay.
up something today?
And pick up.
Yeah.
And this is my credit card. And I'm asking you very gently,
Yeah. Look.
why did you let her wear this flag?
Yeah. Look at.
Is she supporting Hamas?
No.
She's not support Hamas. So why is she putting this flag? Because Hamas control this place.
So just because Hamas brutally controls the region of Palestine, now I'm willing to bet that most of the people in Palestine don't want to support terrorism, but because there's other regional things going on, that all of a sudden now, just because you're from Palestine or you sympathize with Palestinian civilians being fucking ethnically cleansed, all of a sudden that makes them a terrorist. And that just because Hamas has controlling of most of that region, probably through fear and terror, even against their own people, somehow makes this person a terrorist. But with this debate comes this very stupid fucking binary thing where it's split down the middle, and you're either a terrorist sympathizer or you're a fucking Zionist. There's no like central gray area which most people can like empathize with either side or come up with a diplomatic solution or even be skeptical of both sides or the other without being wrapped up in this global like war of fanaticism from both sides.
No? No, I wanna see why.
Looks like we're
Because
disturbing.
these guys fucking beheaded our babies.
Okay. So we can.
And your guys are totally leveling an entire region with no regard for civilian life. So I guess there's a double standard here. If they're Palestinians, well, there's a little secret that Jews, see Gentiles as subhuman garbage, as animals to be exploited, killed, and used for their own reasoning. And on the flip side, you have, again, this is me telling the kafir, which is the non-believer that's also a subhuman piece of trash and slave. So you have both sides that have a massive disregard for human life, and you have both sides trying to exploit the Gentile kafir, people like you and me, to co-opt you your financial, your blood, sweat into a war of fanaticism that both sides fucking hate you. Let's see what else this guy has to say.
We can go ahead and ask you to leave, or we can ask the security.
It's never happened, so you fucking moron.
All right.
Yeah. If you say this is never happened, huh? Why you say it's never happened? Did you see it? It's my family.
Okay.
You piece of shit.
So we can go ahead and ask you to leave.
Okay.
And I get someone being heated. I really do. But at the end of the day, just because something happens overseas does not mean that this Israeli, that this Jewish person has a right to dictate someone else's freedoms here in the free fucking world of the United States. Now, in Israel, you might be able to jail people, you might be able to fucking assassinate people for their opinions and shit. But here in the United States, we'd like to think we're a little bit more cultured than that. But then again, me even taking this opinion has probably landed me in some hot water opinion wise, at least in the minimum. So it's just this obnoxious bullshit that it's like this guy should just left the store, canceled his order, and found another product to buy. But we're stuck in a situation now that fanatics on both sides are ramping up violence towards each other. And even you see it here in the United States. You have a bunch of Palestinian supporters, protesting and getting violent. And on the other side, you're going to have Israeli supporters doing the same thing here in the land of free, home of the brave. So fanaticism has corrupted and stolen the souls and very sanity of both sides. And anyone who dare comes at it from a skeptical opinion, for or against, is seen as a monster and a terrorist or Zionist. And it's just wild to see this kind of fucking just black and white, like McCarthyism going on about all this shit. And what you're seeing now has been literally going on since the days of Isaac and Ishmael. Here's a quick rundown. Abraham had two sons. One was Isaac, one was Ishmael. Ishmael was kind of the stepson because Abraham and his first wife couldn't conceive at the time. So his wife told him to have another child with Hagar, which is Ishmael. And of course, eventually they did conceive and have Isaac. So this is where the great divide happens between Christianity, Judaism, and Islam. Christians and Jews believe that Isaac is the chosen son and Ishmael is the chosen son for the Arab and the Muslims. So what you have here is 2,000 years of ethnic cleansing and genocide. And I guess because these people don't want to advance past the hate and fury and, join each other on an equal plane of humanity or at the foot of the cross, it's nothing but hatred and murder against one another, and they're not happy unless everyone's engaged in it, Gentile and Kafir alike. So the only thing I'm saying here is, yeah, it's fucked up what both these sides do to each other. But again, you and me, we are subhuman garbage to both sides. And both sides are expending massive funds and money to put out propaganda out there to get you to buy into one side or the other. But one thing I will not stand for is to have our eroding of constitutional rights over some bullshit that's happening 8,000 to 9,000 miles away. That's horseshit. The Constitution protects American citizens regardless of Jew or Palestinian alike. These rights are gifted to us by God. So if I don't care who it is. If Palestine was to say they want to cancel freedom of speech because of Zionism, bullshit. If Zionists want to cancel the freedom of speech because of Palestinianism and anti-Semitism, that's also bullshit. No one has, there's a quote from Jean-Luc Picard that says, no one person is more important than the rights of another. And I'll stand by that. And if that deems me a Zionist or anti-Semite or Palestinian sympathizer, I don't really give a shit, because what I stand behind is the God-given rights of the Constitution, the First Amendment being one. And if anyone wants to censor that, you're an oppressive authoritarian shithead, regardless of who you are. So don't come here to the United States. Don't dictate to us our rights. Fuck off. That's why we broke away from England in the first place, so we could have rights to say what we wanted, to speak our piece, regardless of how shitty it may be perceived by someone else. And that's my 2 cents on it. See you next time.